It is July 2025. This is your host. You're listening to a news channel. From scorching heat waves in Europe to record floods in South Asia, climate change is no longer a distant warning. It's here, and it's accelerating. But what's really happening in 2025? Let's break it down. In the first half of 2025, we've seen more climate-related disasters than ever before. Australia is battling its longest wildfire season. In January, Canada's premier research institution said the fires had already burned an area twice the size of Florida. 38 million people were affected by smoke. Meanwhile, Bangladesh has been hit by the worst flooding in a decade. Homes have been destroyed, crops have been washed away, and thousands of people have been displaced. Across the border in India, temperatures reached a blistering 49 degrees Celsius in April, breaking all records. That's 120 degrees Fahrenheit. In the U.S., states like Arizona and Texas have recorded temperatures exceeding 50 degrees C. That's 122 degrees F. And the Southwest is facing a megadrought that's been compared to a biblical punishment. What's happening? Scientists now warn we are approaching the 1.5-degree warming limit faster than expected. The Paris Climate Accord aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees, preferably 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Developed in 2015, the Accord gave countries a roadmap to avoid catastrophic climate change. The science was clear. If we don't cut emissions drastically and quickly, the planet will warm beyond 1.5 degrees, and some changes will be impossible to reverse. We'd cross a tipping point, after which the planet's systems would collapse. Rising sea levels, mass extinctions, and large-scale ecosystem collapse would threaten the very foundations of human civilization. This isn't just about weather. It's about food, water, homes, and lives. Last year, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, made an urgent call to action. They said if we don't drastically reduce emissions in the next 5 years, some changes could become irreversible. The window to act is almost shut. So what are we doing about it? Governments are responding slowly. In 2019, the European Union launched its Green Deal Acceleration Plan. Its goal: to make Europe climate neutral by 2050. Recently, the EU announced a new €1 billion package to help Ukraine rebuild after Russia's invasion. Funds will be used to transform Ukraine into a green energy hub. China, the world leader in renewable energy installations, has pledged to peak carbon dioxide emissions by 2030. In April, the U.S. passed new climate bills focused on clean energy and carbon capture. But even though it's the largest greenhouse emitter of all time, the U.S. is yet to meet its climate finance promises. Many developing countries say they can't afford to go green without financial help. There are glimmers of hope. Youth-led climate movements are growing stronger. Just last month, millions of students across Europe skipped school and took to the streets to demand urgent climate action. Tech startups are also working on solutions. Some are building machines that eat up carbon dioxide from the air. Others are producing sustainable aviation fuels. Still, others are coming up with lab-grown meat alternatives that could reduce the environmental impact of the global food system. Once confined to the fringes of big tech, these startups are now being funded by the likes of Bill Gates and Richard Branson. Cities, too, are stepping up. Amsterdam and Seoul are redefining urban sustainability. Both cities have set ambitious goals to cut emissions and become carbon neutral by 2050. Cities across the world are promoting electric vehicles, investing in renewable energy, and creating more green spaces. So the story so far is one of stark warnings and slow responses. In the face of this unfolding crisis, people around the world are demanding action from those in power. So the question is, are we doing enough? Is the world ready to face the consequences of climate change? Well, the future isn't written yet. What we do in the next few years will define the rest of the century. Climate change is real. It's urgent. But together, we can still change the outcome. For more on climate change, watch our series, The Climate Question, only on our channel. And don't forget to subscribe.